Joining us now to talk about exciting updates at the Office Tavern Grill is Kevin Felice, Vice President of 40 North Restaurants across all of four New Jersey's locations that they have. The office has launched a refreshed menu, and the Morristown flagship location just unveiled a modern redesign. Under 40 North's leadership, the office continues evolving as a neighborhood spot, offering scratch-made eats and quality ingredients. Kevin's here now to walk us through the changes, the new menu, and what diners can expect moving forward. Good morning to you, Kevin. Good to have you on.
Hey, good morning, Ken. Thanks for having us today.
You bet. So, what sparked the decision to refresh the menu and the redesign of Morristown's flagship location?
We've been in Morristown here for a number of years, and we did a large remodel back in 2014. And Morristown's an ever evolving town, and we felt it
Mhm.
was time to bring some new life to the table, make the space have a sense of today, and really give our diners some new delicious dining options in a comfortable, refreshed environment.
I love it. I mean, Morristown is a very sophisticated town, but yet at the same time, as sophisticated as it is with the history, it still doesn't feel pretentious. That's what I love about it. I don't live too far away from Morristown. It's just a great walking town, and great restaurant town too. So, what's new on your menu that you're most excited about, and how did you decide which dishes to introduce?
So very excited about a number of changes. To go back to how to make and what to change here. We wanted to keep the core of who we were, get some new elevated dishes that match today's consumer. The standout has been our chicken Mediterranean chicken pita, which was just gangbuster and something that everyone loves for lunch. And it's a great healthy lunch option. A lot of remakes to some of our entrees, as we're always been known for our burgers. So some delicious new burgers on the menu as well. So whether you're coming for lunch and need a burger, you want a sophisticated dinner entree on a date night, it's a great spot to be.
And of course, the benefit is if your other half says, "Honey, where were you?" Was at the office. Needless to say, you were on your third martini at the office, but you were at the office, and I guess that's the idea. And you're not lying, right? Uh,
Been the greatest
was
answer
that
for
was
60
that the
years,
idea?
I think. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's dangerous that that we both thought of that immediately, right? How do you balance
Exactly.
keeping beloved classics while adding fresh, unexpected twists? Because there's always going to be the guy or the woman coming in saying, "I want chicken parm" or "I want a cheeseburger," and then you want to introduce, you want to kind of show them that expand your horizons and taste a little bit, and that's a tough balance to walk, isn't it?
It's always the struggle, right, in a restaurant. But I think two things. One, our guests trust us. We've been here for a long time. We've built a great clientele. So when they trust you, they'll give you some room to work with. And also, we try to do menu items that people understand, that they can relate to, but are delicious. So if you find that
Mhm.
right balance, people will continue to come back. They'll try new items. They're always going to go back to their favorites, of course. But it keeps people excited when you can introduce new items every couple months and keep it interesting for them.
And Morristown is good for that because you have some sophisticated people with sophisticated tastes and stuff. I know it's tough. Like I had a friend in Nutley who opened a beautiful restaurant. He had studied and he was a chef in Europe, and he comes into town and he puts on the menu no spaghetti and no chicken parm and it was just you can get maybe a vitello alla milanese and people are like, "Where's the chicken parm and spaghetti?" And of course, he bristled, and it causes craziness as a chef owner, until you find out that you can't sell one plate unless you acquiesce. So there's that balance, and I know it must be frustrating, but you have to keep that finger on the pulse, right, of what the people want. So, what's a dining experience that you want people to feel when they come into the office?
So the office is a great place to gather. So whether you're with coworkers at happy hour after work and still claiming you're at the office, whether you're out with a family, you're on date night, the office is something that you can experience in all those situations. There's food, there's alcohol that kind of match that vibe for you. So the office to us has always been somewhere where you should feel comfortable and you can make that experience whether you want to get a margarita pizza and a beer or a great bottle of wine and a braised short rib. You should feel comfortable doing all those things.
Oh my gosh, you got me hungry now. The office is known for its beer program. So how is that evolving with the refresh?
So the beer program, we've always been at the forefront of New Jersey beer. We're so blessed to be in a state with such talented craft breweries and exciting new beers. So we have 40 beers on tap. most of which are
Wow.
dedicated to those really special New Jersey breweries. And those great partnerships and the creativity behind these beers are truly amazing. So we're just lucky to be able to showcase what New Jersey has to offer.
In the era of social media, I know sometimes it's great and sometimes it's terrifying. So, what kind of feedback have you gotten so far from guests about your changes?
The changes have gone over really well. The space is a little brighter, more inviting, a new color palette, new textures, the same office that you feel comfortable in. But people seem excited. The feedback has been good, and people feel like they're having a good time here, which is what makes us happy. So.
What would you say, especially for other business owners watching, because you have four locations and that's tough? What lessons or guiding principles from this refresh would you share?
For us, it's listening to your consumers. We're lucky enough to operate in many different towns within New Jersey. Every town's different, every consumer's different. And really just, you mentioned the chef before, but really being able to listen to your community, putting your own ego aside, right? And really giving people what they want. Because in the end, we're only as good as our customers, right? And it's important that we relate to them and give them what they're looking for.
Yeah, and a friend of mine, I worked in the food industry for a lot of years before I got into television and radio and went over to ABC for 20 years. But prior to that, I did catering. We had a deli, a pizzeria. We did all sorts of food businesses. And a friend of mine who is a very successful caterer in the city told me whether it's the Trumps or the Joneses or the Berkshires, uh, the one thing that used to go over all the time was pigs in a blanket or some iteration thereof, whether it was the original actual pig in a blanket or they would call it a kielbasa wrapped in puff pastry. So it didn't sound like pigs in a blanket. People tend to have some of the same taste no matter who they are and where they are. It's just easy finger food. I say that only because when it comes to having the four locations, do you have like a dish that is basically the same, but yet called something different or just tweaked a little bit from one location to another based on the population?
So currently we don't. The menus are all kind of in alignment with each other. What sells and what's popular is different by location, but we do want, because the communities are pretty close to each other, so we do want to have a consistent
Right.
experience. So if you go to the office, you know that the certain dish is going to be the same. We have four locations. We also have one in Newark Airport as well, fifth one, which is great. So even if you're flying in and out, you feel comfortable that you can go to the office and you can get that same great meal.
Where in the airport are you? Because I'm in the airport every 2 weeks. I'll check it out.
We're lucky enough to be in Newark Terminal A, right,
Perfect.
right
I
down the
fly out
escalator from
probably half the
Jersey.
time. Half the time I'm at a Terminal A, so your location there will definitely is it sort of a quicker menu, a smaller menu?
It's a slightly smaller menu, but some of the same great items, and we're very blessed to be there. And it's I think nothing says New Jersey quite like those local brands as you're flying in and out. So it's a real good sense of
A
place
hundred
and community
percent.
there. Yeah.
And that's what makes it special. I mean, if it's just a national chain, you go from airport to airport, you get the same national stuff. I mean, no offense to there's a place for that. I don't mean any offense to the national chain folks. God bless them all. But when you come into New Jersey, you want to get New Jersey's has great food. You want to get some of the great food. So thank you for being there and for doing what you do. How like just to get an idea, how many chefs do you have at each restaurant at any given time to keep up with the crowd?
So we have a great team. We have an executive chef in each restaurant, a chef who oversees the brand as a whole, and then a real big team of talented cooks everywhere. So on a given night, you might have 10 to 15 cooks in a kitchen.
Wow.
But we have some really talented chefs who are leading the charge there for us.
That's a lot. It's a lot of work. It really is. And just if people knew, and again, I only speak from having done this. If people knew how early you have to get in to do your prep work and get everything done and be on top of your inventory and keep everything spotless and at certain temperatures and take the inspections, people think it's you just cook up a little meal for somebody. They have no idea what the business is like and how exhausting it is. But to do it well, like you guys do it, you have to know what you're doing. So clearly, looking ahead, where do you see the Office Tavern Grill going over the next few years under 40 North's direction?
So the Office Tavern Grill, it's as much as we've done so far, we think there's still a long ways to go, and we have ever evolving menus. We do a local road trip menu every couple of weeks. It's focused on a different state within New Jersey, and that keeps our guests coming back. we will continue to evolve as the times evolve and give great food in a great atmosphere and really, really genuine service.
And we were talking, I had a guest earlier, we were talking about mocktails. How's the mocktail industry for you guys? Because I'm seeing that years ago, you maybe had one non-alcoholic beer, and today you see sometimes mocktails making up a fourth of the cocktail menu.
So yes, we do see a lot of zero ABV beers that move well as some zero ABV cocktails. So it's definitely a segment that over the last couple of years, consumers are gearing more towards for various reasons. And when you dine with us, you have a lot of options in that category. You can feel comfortable that you can get something delicious to pair with your food, and not have to have any alcohol.
Well, I love the Office Tavern Grill. Sounds like just the place to be, especially the Morristown location now with the revamp. Everybody needs to check it out. Kevin Felice, Vice President of 40 North Restaurants. Thank you for doing what you did. You make New Jersey proud and you make it a special place and the special place that it is. We appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you so much, Ken, for your time. Have a great day.